Hello and welcome to Ame's Bookshelf Interviews. Now today I am interviewing the president of Pennant Publications, who is also an author. I asked her if Debi Stanton was her pen name or a doing business name, or if it was her legal name, and she says it is her legal name. I ask this because some authors do choose to use a pen name different than their legal given name for privacy purposes and other concerns. As I said, Debi Stanton owns Pennant Publications, LLC, with her husband, Ray. She is also an author of 17 books, and she always has more in the works. Now, I asked her what books, games, or other publishing-related projects she's been involved in the production of, and I expected this answer that she's giving. She says there are way too many to list. We have published over 500 books in the past 4 years and have more coming in every day. We are excited to be a part of each and every author's story. What got you interested in writing, illustrating, editing, etc., all the things that go in with publishing? I have been writing since I was a child. I was a voracious reader and writing was a natural transition. I minored in art, but I don't illustrate it as much too hard. And editing, that is probably my least favorite thing about writing, so we pay others to do it. What company or companies do you work for or with, just in case you have, more than one job that you do, or in case you have other companies that you are involved with that you'd like to give a shout out to? Her answer is that she owns Pennant Publications, LLC, which is a traditional publisher. Debi Stanton, you are the president of Pennant Publications. Can you tell us the story behind the company and what caused you to get involved with it? My husband and I got married in 2014, and he had just written his first book. I had published a few. He was shopping his book around to publishers and was just not happy with what they offered. Most were vanity presses who wanted to charge him thousands of dollars. I was already publishing Pennant Magazine, a magazine for authors, and I had been traditionally published, but I always felt like I was just a number. So I mentioned that I always wanted to start my own publishing company. I knew a lot about publishing, but didn't know much about the business side of it. Ray had owned his own business for over 30 years and said, "Well, I do." So within 2 weeks we were up and running. We hired one illustrator and one editor, and we were in business. Now we employ around 50 people and have hundreds of authors. I truly love what I do. Our motto is, everyone has a story, what's yours? What projects are you currently working on? I am working on a series of books called People Watching. The first one is People Watching in the Airport. They are going to be funny looks at people watching. Do you have any future projects in mind to take on? I have a novel that I need to finish that I started a few years ago. I have 16 chapters done, but I just haven't had the motivation to finish it. I won't share that title right now. What is your favorite project you have done? Wow, each project we work on for our authors is wonderful, so I'll talk about one I have written myself. My favorite book is The Fellowship Flock. It hasn't been much of a seller, but we are going to do a new cover for it and republish soon. It is set in Fairhope, Alabama, and surrounds a little church and all of the comedy and drama that ensues. Is this career something that you always wanted to do? Yes, I started writing, transitioned into running writing groups, then to publishing Pennant Magazine, and then into Pennant Publications. Do you find it difficult, or find some aspects more difficult than others? I truly hate editing. I tend to get sucked into the story and skip over errors, so we pay others to do that job. Have you observed any way that an author or poet makes it harder for themselves to find a publisher? Her answer is, have a good query letter. I get submissions all the time that are just attached to an email with no query letter, no information about the story, etc. Also, make sure that you have edited to the best of your ability. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do the best you can. I have noticed and heard many younger people trying to figure out how to become an illustrator. Do you have any specific advice or suggestions for those budding artists? We do hire young talent. The best tip I can give is to be diligent. If an author or a publisher gives you a book to illustrate, be timely, keep in touch, and be responsible to meet your deadlines. It's very important to us and to our authors that we publish in a timely manner. What is a normal day like for you? Is this your side job or main job? Gosh, I work from about the time I get up until I go to bed some days. I am always answering email, helping format books, correspond with staff. It's a crazy life, but I love it. And that sounds about like my days. My days are very busy too. So I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one that has busy days. How do you manage balancing this with family and any other work you may have? It is important to do, but sometimes I find I neglect things other than work. Ray and I take a vacation at least once a year. Last year we went to Hawaii and Israel. I just have to say, I'm not working, and let the authors and staff know that I am going to be away. They are all very respectful of my time, and know I will be in touch as soon as I can. What hobbies do you have? Besides writing, I would say travel. My husband and I love to travel. If you could be anything in the world besides this, what would it be? Besides this, huh? Well, probably a teacher at a college, teaching writing, of course. Or I would lead conferences and seminars. I love being in front of people and teaching them. Do you feel that school helped set you up toward following this path in the publishing industry? Yes, definitely. I majored in English and took multiple electives. I had one teacher, Mrs. Lloyd, who really inspired me. She was a creative and inspirational lady, and I admired her greatly. I have 5 degrees, so I guess I was an education junkie. I have an associate's in business, a bachelor's in business, a bachelor's in computer software technology, a master's in business, and a master's in healthcare administration. And lots of student loans, laughing out loud. And I suddenly don't feel so bad about my own student loans. If you could go back to school, is there anything you wish you had paid more attention to? History. I love reading nonfiction, and I wish I had been more into history. What advice do you have for the next generation? Don't doubt yourself. You can do it, is her advice. What advice do you have for your age peers that may also want to take part in the publishing industry, and specifically within your area within it? Publishing is time-consuming. It can take over your life, but the rewards are so worth it. Be kind to people, and they will love working with you. Is there anything else that you would like to add that we didn't discuss? I would just like to say thank you to all of our authors and staff. You have made us what we are today. I am so very blessed to have all of you in my life. I can't thank you enough. And that was my interview with Debi Stanton, president and owner of Pennant Publications, who I do illustration work for. If you think your work would be a good fit, you can write her at pennantpublications@yahoo.com. This is intended to go up Sunday. I hope it goes up Sunday. I hope it goes up when I intend to have it up by. Summer's getting busy, guys. What's on your plate? Until next time, I'm Teresa Garcia, or Amehana Arashi, and this has been Ame's Bookshelf Interviews. Happy reading.